Hey guys, Triumphofman here. Now, Dota is an incredibly harsh and unforgiving place, but the good news is mobacast and DotA are here to get you on the right path. And today, we're going to take a quick look at the support hero, Crystal Maiden. Now, Crystal Maiden is an ice-themed intelligence hero who is typically played as a hard support, babysitting type hero. Now, first, let's take a look at her skills. Crystal Nova is a large AoE nuke and slow. Now this is Crystal Maiden's bread and butter attack. It also has a deceptively long reach, with a 700 unit cast range and a 400 unit radius effect range. This means you can clip an enemy up to 1100 units away, and this is almost double the range of most ranged attack heroes. Her second skill, Frostbite, is a single target disable that immobilizes and deals damage over time. However, be warned, it's not a stun. Frozen enemies, although they can't move or attack, can still cast their spells at you. This means they could possibly kill you. When used on a creep, Frostbite lasts for 10 seconds at all levels and deals 700 damage. If you're ever short on ward money, you can always use this to help you quickly clear a neutral camp. Her third skill, Arcane Aura, is a global mana regen aura. This benefits mana intensive heroes on your team immensely, but depending on the circumstances you don't need to max it out straight away. But we'll talk about this in just a second. Her ultimate spell, Freezing Fields, slows enemies and deals a bajillion damage in an AoE around Crystal Maiden. It seems awesome, but it's actually a very situational spell. Couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a channeling spell, and as a support hero you won't have a lot of money to farm a Black King bar to protect you while you channel. Generally, you'll get stunned as soon as you try to party. Secondly, for optimum effect you need to be in the middle of a team fight where the general shitstorm breaks out. However, as a fragile support hero, this is exactly the last place you actually want to be, because you'll die in a second flat. Okay, so, skill builds. Now, you can max out Aura first, but this means you're going to be playing very passive, and you need to have 100% confidence in your teammates. For your average pub game that guides cater to, a more offensive Crystal Maiden is in order. Initially, we're going to get 1 point in each of our primary skills. Then, we're going to max out Nova. Whether you max it out by level 7 depends on how well you're managing your mana. If you're struggling a bit, feel free to alternate between Nova and Aura just for a couple of levels. The only time to max out Frostbite first is if your team lacks power stunned and you need to deal with heroes that have good escape mechanisms. I recommend leaving your ultimate for levels 11 plus. It's a very situational spell and you're unlikely to need it until pitch battles start occurring. On items, make sure you get a courier with your starting gold. If someone else already beat you to it, you can buy wards instead. And if somebody else already did that, well, you can upgrade the courier to a flying courier. My cookie cutter support starter item build is one of these three plus 2 iron branches, 2 mana potions, 1 health potion, and 1 set of tangos. Now, you'll be in either one of the side lanes most likely, and when you're laning, focus on harassing the enemy heroes with your attacks. Let your ally handle the bulk of creep killing and denying. Everything about Crystal Maiden's attack is terrible, from the attack animation, speed to everything else. So spending a lot of your time focusing on denying is a waste of effort. Deny if you can, but otherwise harass the enemy. If your enemy doesn't want to come near the creep wave because he's getting smacked in the face by you every single time he tries, well, it has a similar effect. He has trouble getting money. Remember, as a hard support hero, you should be upgrading the courier ASAP. Try to have the courier upgraded by 3 minutes and wards ready for every 6-minute cycle. It's okay if this delays your boots or any other item. Remember, it's your job to actually place the wards, not just to buy them. If your partner doesn't need your help in the lane, feel free to leave and gank other lanes. This applies pressure elsewhere on the map and gives him more experience. Also, if you're moving around the map and you're near a creep camp around the 50-second mark, make sure you stack it so your carry can kill it later. The Ancients especially are worth a lot of gold. As the game goes on, a magic wand really helps Crystal Maiden be a little bit less squishy, as well as help her out with her mana issues. If you still need more health, try to avoid buying braces if you possibly can, and buy power treads instead. Support heroes need more slots for consumables, like wards, TP, scrolls, and Smoke of Deceit. With power treads, you get that extra health, plus you save inventory space. Now, as a hard support, you'll probably only get enough money for one cheap utility item. Personally, I favour the 4-star. It's a lot of fun to use, plus it gives mana and an escape mechanism. Alternatively, other cheap support utility items include things like the Medallion of Courage or Macasm. Basically, just pick something you like and you think is appropriate to buy in the matchup. Remember, if you're playing support properly, you probably won't have a lot of money, so don't try and save up for things like Black King Bar, Blink Daggers, or Arcanum Scepter. Now, towards the late game, make sure you stick with your teammates. As a squishy support hero, you're extremely vulnerable to getting picked off. Avoid engaging enemies alone at all costs, because you will more than likely get killed. For the same reason, don't be the first into a fight. It's not your job and you'll just get killed. Let an initiator handle that. Instead, hang around the edge of the team fight to avoid the worst of the AoE spam. Slow targets for your carry to beat on and use utility items where appropriate. If you see a good opening to ult when your opponents have blown all their stuns and silencers, go for it. However, if you need to choose between saving mana for your ultimate or using another round of Nova and Frostbite, I'd go with the latter. They're way more reliable than your ultimate spell. But that's just about the gist of it. Remember, keep those wards up, harass the enemy in the lane, and get your carry nice and fat so he can destroy the other team for you in the late game. Now, if you want some alternative ways to play Crystal Maiden, or if you just want a more in-depth guide, I recommend checking out DotAfire.com. Or you can visit me and our DotAcast stream on Twitch TV. Jump into the chat and ask me anything, and I'll do my best to help you out. But until then, hopefully this helps you feed just a little bit less.